guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. It's been, I think, a week, Cian. I'm back. Cian is back. We're back, baby. And we're talking about Jack Byrne and his imminent move to Apoel Nicosia in Cyprus. What do you make of this one generally, Cian? Is it a good move for him, do you think? A bad move? Mick McCarthy's obviously the manager, so he's something to do with it.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell. To be honest with you, I was surprised. I don't know much about the Cyprus League, I'll be honest with you. Someone asked me about the Cyprus League. I think of Apoel. They're the first team that pop into my head. I think they're the only team that pop into my head. And when I actually looked and realised where they were in the table, I was kind of shocked. I thought, let's say, they'd be winning leagues left, right and centre, and they'd be like an Ajax or in their own country just dominating. But I was surprised to see how far down the table they actually were. So it's a bit of a gamble move, I think. Look, they're obviously in a bit of transition, and Mick coming in and stuff like that. So that obviously played a huge part in it.
Yeah, it's a funny one because he's 24 years of age. He must be nearly 25, isn't he, at this stage? He had to move, I think. It's an interesting one because, as you say, they're ninth in the table, actually, and I looked at that and I was shocked as well because they've qualified for the Champions League proper 4 times in the last decade. So I suppose, like, I've seen some people saying it's not an upgrade of a move, but it kind of is. He's going to be getting more money. Nice to play in a bit of good weather maybe as well, try a different culture and that kind of thing as well. But at the same time, like, they are a big club in their own right. I mean, Shamrock Rovers would only dream of getting into Champions League proper once, never mind 4 times. But it is strange. The last few years, they finished 3rd last season as well. So they're obviously going through, as you say, transition, struggling a little bit. But I have a funny feeling Jack Byrne's been put off by the Scottish-English experience, let's say, that he had.
Yeah, look, I think everybody wants to go and play in England. That's the truth. Yeah. Everybody wants to play in England. Everyone, like, that's the dream growing up as a kid. Let's be honest, like, and Jack has probably done that. He could say, and he didn't have a great time over there. He came back, he found his feet again. Look, he's played in Holland and everything, so like he has experience in different leagues. So this is just another one of the ladder. He's still young, so this isn't like the end of it for him, like, at all. If it goes wrong, like, he can literally reset. He can even come home. I think even after this move, he'll get a job in England. He'll get a team. So I don't think it's a big gamble as such, considering it's not like he's 30 years of age, 31 years of age, where, look, he hasn't performed the last couple of years, and now this is his move to perform. If not, he's gone. It's not like that. I think we all know the quality that Jack has. I'm disappointed, obviously. You'll want to see our best players stay in the league. They were doing my flaunting around about going to Dundalk and stuff like that. But, I'd rather him go to Dundalk than go to Apoel, being a League of Ireland fan and being selfish, because we want to see the best players in the league. But, I think it's a good move for him. He just needs to be guaranteed game time, which I think he will be, considering, like, I can't see Mick McCarthy bring them over, like, if he's not going to play or if he's going to be sitting there. And look, I think they're ninth in the table, so I think they could do with him. He'll definitely add an awful lot of quality. But I think, look, us as League of Ireland fans will be watching him closely. We'll be looking at every game. We'll be looking at the results. We'll be looking at the fixtures. Like, did Jack score today? Did he? That's what we'll be doing. But he will go out of the limelight a little bit.
Yeah.
Going into Cyprus. And I think Mick McCarthy's obviously a big man in Irish football and stuff like that. So he might be saved a little bit that way. But I just think he'd be out of, let's say, Stephen Kenny's eye as such. And he'd be out of, like, the even English team's eyes, because he's not playing, let's say, I'm not saying in Ireland, that's where everyone watches it and all, but he has a big profile here. And look, I've no doubt if he shows the quality he's shown here, he'll have a big profile over there as well. I'm not saying he won't, but I'm saying, especially starting off, he's probably going to, let's say, he'd be going there with a big reputation. I think all the fans, the Apoel fans, they'd be looking at him. They'll see all the goals, they'll see all the clips and stuff like that. They'll see everything that comes with Jack.
And they'll know he's an Irish international. I know he hasn't played many games, but they still have that. Like,
look, they still have that, and look, he'd be going there with a reputation. There'd be big expectations for him, I would say. Like, for example, you're looking at Danny Grant going to Huddersfield. Like, usually these players are going over, and we're saying, yeah, he's good, he'll add a bit of quality to your side and stuff like that. But when these players go off, the expectation levels again, because they've seen, let's say, the clips or so, they've seen what he can do, they've seen our likes of ourselves or our fans commenting on how good this player is and, how he's going to add to the squad. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Jack that way, but I think Jack's the type of player that will thrive off that. He wants to get on the ball. He doesn't shy away from it at all. Like, we even seen at that time, the last time he played for Ireland, it was a misplaced pass. Jeff Hendry picked up the red card over it. But he wants to get on the ball. He's going to cost you a lot of the ball. But
he's brave with the ball,
yeah, that's it. Like, he's going to cost you. He's going to lose the ball 7 times out of 10 going forward. But the other 3 times, you know what I mean, you can kind of make up for it because of how special he is and how good he is in the attack. So he's definitely going to add quality. But like I says, I think he's nearly out of the eye line as such. He's nearly out of the watchful eye and the scouts and stuff like that, because believe it or not, actually a lot of English scouts and a lot of people actually watch Irish games, which is, it's in fairness for the small league we have and the small, let's say, fan bases clubs have, we actually have a lot of scouts looking at these players and watching them, like, which is amazing to see. But I just think going to Cyprus might lose that a little bit for him. But
I suppose the other question is, does he actually care, I wonder, about that? Or is he just thinking, look, I need to go somewhere that I'm going to enjoy my football as well? And obviously we'd be a bit of an upgrade, if we're honest, from Shamrock Rovers in the league.
Yeah, no question.
I do get the feeling that I don't watch Cypriot or Greek football or anything like that, but you get the feeling it's probably going to be less physical than the English League 1 or 2 or whatever, Scottish leagues, more technical. And you get the feeling Mick McCarthy sold that idea to him as well, and he obviously knows all about it. So in that sense, and there's going to be some weak teams in Cyprus as well, there's no doubt about that. The leagues, some of the lower leagues in England might well be stronger, let's be honest about it.
I think that as well. And like, I think it's a step up from League of Ireland football, no question about it. But like, he could have went higher, in my opinion. Even though it's still a step up for him, I thought he could go that extra step or 2 steps up. I genuinely thought England would be his destination next. If he wasn't with England, he'd be at Shamrock Rovers. That was my opinion, and I think that was everyone's opinion, that what's going to happen. But to see him going there, it's strange. I think we don't see it a lot. Like, when I think of Irish players playing abroad, honestly, the 2 of them, your man Killian Sheridan's kind of played in every country now at this stage. And what's his name? Liam Buckley.
Yeah, you've Josh Cullen now as well at Anderlecht, and they're a big club, Anderlecht, but it seems like he's gone off the radar a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Match that into the story, you know what I mean?
Like, I think Anderlecht are a lot bigger than Apoel, and Josh, like, to be honest, I haven't even heard about him, to be honest with you.
And he is playing with them, Keane.
But that's what I'm saying about Jack. If he's there, we're going to be watching out for him. I think everyone watches out for him. You see the name coming up. You know what I mean? And even in England, like, you're watching Soccer Saturday, and for example, you see a next League of Ireland player scored a goal or something popping up in the end, and you're like, that's great. And you're always looking out.
But that's exclusive to our market, isn't it? Our little League of Ireland bubble, really,
Yeah, so I think we will be watching out for him. Like, I wish him nothing but the best. I think he's a smasher footballer. I'm delighted that we won't have to face him next year as a Pats fan. Put it that way. But you're losing possibly the best player we've seen in the league in 10 or so years, I would say. Like, I think there's only three real players that I thought could make it for me over the last couple of years, and that was Keith Footy. Then it was Richie Towell. Hasn't really worked out for him, but he's playing at Salford, he's doing well, and then Jack Byrne. But I thought Richie Towell was just head and shoulders above Keith Footy and stuff like that in that Dundalk side. And you know, people need to realise as well, like, there's talk of Jack going championship and people are saying he's good enough to play in the Premier League and all. Like, that's not realistic.
Well, looking at the I'll give you an example, Keane. Jason Malumbi is an excellent young player for me, and he's 21, so he's not 18. He can't get in the Brighton side at all. Not even on he's not even making substitute appearances.
No, we
so
can't.
The Premier League is just so heavy with so many players from all over the world, money, quality players. It's very difficult to break in.
Yeah, I think Jack could be lower reaches of the championship to a top League One club, but I think that's his level. He hasn't even hit his peak yet. So if you're at a championship level before you hit your peak, you have a great chance of making Premier League, or you have a great chance of being up there anyway. But I just don't think he's ready yet. Like I said though, this isn't the end of it for him. Like, this isn't his one last hurrah to make a performance. Like, he has a chance now. He can go there for a year or two, whatever his contract is. And look, if he starts performing well, gets Apoel back up the leagues. Obviously, you need other players as well around him. But, you know, Jack can definitely be the main man to start everything for Apoel.
From Shamrock Rovers' point of view, we've talked about it before about the signings that they made. They have made some good signings, but how big of a loss is Jack Byrne? Like, you can make all the signings you like, but
I don't think you can replace a player of his quality. I don't think you can replace a Jack Byrne, but I still think, like, they have the resources to, if you know what I mean. I know I'm contradicting myself there, but, like, you know, you look at Mandroiu coming in, like, that's an opportunity and a half for him now to go and take it. He can, like, he is on par with Jack Byrne. He's a little bit off.
He can go two ways. He can really make himself there at Shamrock Rovers and be the main focal point almost, or he could end up being on the bench.
Hopefully in Jack Byrne's role, I think now I do think Mandroiu will play in that role as such. I think McInerney won't move, but I'd love to see Aaron get further forward. I'd love to see him link it up with Green or link it up with Graham Borg and get shots off from around the edge of the box and put a few crossings. I think McInerney, for me, is one of my favourite players to watch. I think he's just really, really good. Look, you have Gary O'Neill there as well, who's probably up there with the very best in his position and what he does. So I think they're spoiled for choice still. I still think Shamrock Rovers are, look, we say it every year, whoever wins the league last year, they're favourites this year. That's no question. But, you know, I just think losing a player like Jack Byrne, if you were a Pats, if you were a Bowes, I'd be a little bit worried. But even if you were Dundalk now losing a player of his quality, you'd be a little bit worried. But I think Shamrock Rovers, the signings they've made, I can't say it being the end either. I think, like, you know, you're in a good position when you're cancelling contracts of players to go to different clubs. Like, that's when you know you're, like, that's Shamrock Rovers. Like, Lafferty wanted to be out Shamrock Rovers. And then all of a sudden, Derry came in, Rovers were like, look, we can let you go, we're all right. And, you know, when you're in that position, you know you're doing something right. And I've no fears in the slightest for Rovers. I think Mandroiu is going to slot in there. And I genuinely hope, and I do think he'll perform, because I want to see him perform, because he is, on this day, him and Jack Byrne are side to side. And there is, when there's both of them are banging form and on point, there's no stopping either of them. I do think Mandroiu has the potential. Like, he's still only, 21? So I still think he has the potential to still become better than Jack Byrne if he puts his head down and plays. Like, and I do think he will. Like, he's going to the champions. He's not going to a Mickey Mouse club. Like, he's not going to a club with no ambition, or he's not. You know what I mean? He's going to the champions. I have no fears at all that he's going to be a great success. And look, for his own sake, I hope, because he's a talented player, and I want to see the best players perform in this league. And look, there's no better place to do it than Shamrock Rovers. Let's be honest.
People argue, well, the League of Ireland should be as good as the League in Cyprus, but obviously it's not. And for bad running and bad planning, etc., etc. You know, Cyprus isn't a big country; it's not a big league. You know.
No, and you're looking at Shamrock Rovers, and you're like, they're signing players now. I think they could win the league, no problem next week, no problem. If the league starts next week, they'll win the league. So I think they're building their squads for Europe. Look, that's where the money is. That's what it's at. They're looking to try and get through a few rounds. Maybe do what Dundalk doing this year, twinkle into the group stage of the Europa League. And, you know, that's what Shamrock Rovers are doing at the minute. That's what they're planning for. Like, they had a squad to win the league. They're after bettering it now. I don't think to win the league. I think to challenge in Europe and go and compete.
Well, I think, as you say, yeah, they're actually trying to, because we've talked about this before. We felt Dundalk's actual squad is stronger than Shamrock Rovers' squad, and Rovers are trying now, clearly, aren't they, to build their squad? I mean, they've taken Sean Gannon from Dundalk. You know, they have Sean Hoare as well from Dundalk, and as you say, there will be more players coming in. Mandroiu replaces Byrne. They will sign a couple of more players. I think they're looking. They understand their first team's very strong, obviously, generally. But they understand that over 38-game season combined with Europe, if you get me, League Cups, whatever it is, that maybe their squad wouldn't be strong enough to push in Europe, and that's understood. They're trying to get to that level that Dundalk have been at, I suppose, for years, in fairness.
We've no fear that Jack Byrne, he'll definitely be missed, his quality will be missed, his individual attributes and ability will be missed in the league. But I don't think it messes with Shamrock Rovers a lot. And like, you know you're in a good place, and there was the player to Jack Byrne and someone saying that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They're well set up, aren't they? In fairness, like, you know, we've talked about it before. But lads, we'll leave it there. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you don't miss a video, and let us know your views. Thanks again, Cian.
Oh, what about? Thanks.
Long a foal.